The Last Gasps of an Empire, 132 to 200 AD, How the Eastern Han Dynasty Drained Itself to Collapse. The last gasp of a dynasty, 132 to 200 AD, the Eastern Han wears itself out. In 132 AD, when Zheng Han placed his bronze seismograph in the imperial palace at Luoyang, the Eastern Han dynasty was already placing child emperors on the throne. Starting in 88 AD, when Emperor He ascended the throne at age 10, the dynasty saw 8 emperors take power by 189 AD, 6 of them children, with the youngest ruling at merely 3 months old. It was amid this era that Zheng Han built his seismograph. Historical records note it accurately predicted a massive earthquake 1,000 li away in Longxi with 0 error. Yet this revolutionary device, over 1,700 years ahead of Western counterparts, vanished completely around 200 AD. The original instrument, its blueprints, and manufacturing techniques were all lost, leaving only 196 characters of description in Book of the Later Han. Modern scientists have created countless reconstructed models based on those 196 words, yet none can function as the original once did. A machine that once worked flawlessly disappeared more thoroughly than the earthquakes it warned of. 2. Huatua, Mafizan, and a burned manuscript, 208 AD, Cao Cao snuffs out China's pioneering surgical medicine. In 208 AD, Cao Cao ordered Huatuo's execution. Huatua told Cao Cao that to cure his chronic migraine, a craniotomy would be required, performed under general anesthesia with Mafizan to cut open the skull and remove the root ailment. Cao Cao flew into a rage at once. The warlord, consumed by paranoia, believed the physician planned to assassinate him under the guise of treatment. To a suspicious mind, a healer is always a potential killer. Mafizan, invented by Huatua, was the world's first recorded general anesthetic 1,600 years earlier than Western equivalents. Its ingredients remain unknown to this day. Before his death, Huatua entrusted his medical manuscript, the Green Pouch Book, to a jailer. The jailer's wife, fearing the text would bring disaster, burned the entire volume. Huatua stood by and watched the flames without stopping her, uttering only, "This cannot save lives." Why he did nothing to intervene, whether out of despair, resignation, or some hidden reason, remains a mystery. The formula for Mafizan and the entire Green Pouch Book turned to ash together. The seismograph vanished, the Green Pouch Book burned, Mafizan's recipe was lost. The Eastern Han left posterity a long list of vanished technological marvels. Meanwhile, Galen, Rome's greatest surgeon of the same era, systematically compiled Greek medical knowledge into texts that shaped Western medicine for 1,500 years. While one civilization burned its medical texts, another codified them, splitting Eastern and Western medicine onto divergent paths for the next millennium. 3. Where lies Cao Cao's tomb? The founder of grave robbers cannot be found in death. In 196 AD, strapped for military funds, Cao Cao established the only state-sanctioned grave-robbing agency in human history, the generals who raise mounds and the captains who seek tombs. Authorized by the court, they looted ancient burial sites to fund his armies. Every grave robber in modern novels traces their origin to Cao Cao's official corps. Cao Cao even mocked Yuan Shao in writing, openly boasting about how much wealth he had seized from plundered tombs. Yet upon his death, Cao Cao ordered secret interment with 72 dummy mounds, left unmarked and unmarked by trees or earthworks. Having spent a lifetime robbing others' graves, he hid his own resting place beyond all trace. In 2009, a tomb unearthed in Anyang, Hunan, was identified as the suspected Gao mausoleum of King Wei Wu, bearing stone plaques inscribed, King Wu of Wei. Controversy has raged ever since, some deem it genuine, others a forgery, and many claim local authorities hyped it for tourism. After 1,800 years, the true location of Cao Cao's tomb remains unresolved. The man who invented state-backed tomb raiding became the hardest to locate tomb occupant in Chinese history, a twist Cao Cao himself could never have foreseen. For, after the Yellow Turbans, before the warlords, the seed sown in 184 AD. In 184 AD, Zhang Jai left the battle cry, "The azure heaven is dead, the yellow heaven shall rise," sparking a simultaneous uprising of 360,000 followers. For a decade, Zhang Jiao built his following by healing villagers with charm-infused water, amassing devotees across 8 provinces. He was not merely staging a rebellion, he built a parallel government. The Eastern Han crushed the main rebel force within 9 months, yet its method of suppression granted provincial generals power to raise private armies. The Yellow Turban threat was eliminated, yet warlords rose in its wake. The Han cut out the tumor of rebellion but left the scalpel embedded in the realm. 18 years before the Yellow Turban Uprising, in 166 AD, Emperor Huan suddenly ordered the arrest of over 200 scholar officials nationwide, all barred from public service for life, a crisis known as the disaster of the partisan prohibitions. Why did the emperor punish 200 scholars solely for criticizing his rule? Was it the scheme of eunuchs, or the emperor's own purge? The true motive remains unclarified after 2 millennia. Yet the outcome is clear: countless men who joined Zhang Jiao's rebellion were scholars left with no recourse after the partisan purges. A political purge whose root cause remains obscure ignited a rebellion of 360,000 18 years later. History's greatest catastrophes often stem from invisible, fragile triggers. V. From Luoyang to Rome, how a foreign faith transformed China over 2 centuries. The White Horse Temple was completed in 68 AD, and by 200 AD, Buddhism had taken firm root in China for 132 years. It spread not through conquest or coercion, but by offering an explanation for suffering amid a dynasty torn by internal strife and displaced commoners, karmic rebirth, where earthly hardship paves the way for liberation in the next life. While imperial clans and eunuchs slaughtered one another, and the Yellow Turbans burned half the realm, a faith that framed suffering as meaningful wielded greater power than any army. Confucianism taught men how to serve their sovereign, Buddhism taught them how to endure chaotic times. The 2 philosophies have intertwined inseparably in Chinese culture for 2,000 years. 6. Rome, a philosopher-emperor and his mad son. Turn west to the other end of Eurasia. In 165 AD, Roman legions returned victorious from the Parthian front, bringing with them an unnamed plague. The Antonine Plague swept across the empire for 2 decades, killing 5 to 10 million people, 1/10 of Rome's total population. Soldiers returned home from victory and sealed the empire's decline. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Stop wasting the rest of your life worrying about what others think of you." Yet he spent 19 years constantly contending with public opinion, for neglecting it meant death. Historians still debate the pathogen behind the Antonine Plague after 2 centuries, with theories ranging from smallpox to measles. 10 million corpses left insufficient evidence to settle the debate. Marcus Aurelius's most confounding decision lies in his heir. The 5 good emperors all passed the throne to worthy successors, yet Marcus chose his biological son Commodus, a man who believed he was the reincarnation of Hercules, regularly paraded in lion pelts in gladiatorial arenas, and renamed Rome Commodus City. Though fully aware of his son's instability, he still bequeathed the empire to him. No surviving historical record explains his reasoning. He took the truth to his grave. The Senate endured Commodus's reign for 12 years, until his mistress, wrestling coach, and palace guards orchestrated his assassination. Power rarely ends with dignity, in both East and West. 7. A city without kings, and a civilization that calculated Venus's orbit. Across the globe, the city of Teotihuacan in the Mexican plateau held 200,000 residents by 150 AD, larger than Rome itself. The base of its sun pyramid matches Egypt's Great Pyramid of Khufu in area, built entirely by human labor without metal tools or wheeled transport. Yet after 100 years of excavation, archaeologists have uncovered 0 evidence of a ruling monarch, no royal tombs, no recorded rulers, no royal iconography. A metropolis governing 200,000 people left no trace of who held power. Around 550 AD, the city burned from within, not conquered by foreign invaders, but set alight by its own inhabitants, who abandoned it forever afterward. Who lit the fires, and why, remains unknown. Meanwhile on the Yucatan Peninsula, the Maya tracked Venus's synodic period with only naked eye observation, their calculations accurate to a mere 2 hours of error, with no telescopes or advanced mathematical instruments, relying solely on generations of astronomical records. Yet the Maya civilization collapsed abruptly around 900 AD, with dozens of cities abandoned one after another. The settlements stood intact amid the jungle, emptied of all inhabitants. No signs of warfare or mass plague have been found, the people simply left. A culture capable of precise planetary calculations left no clue to its own disappearance. Epilogue: all cracks were there long before collapse. By 200 AD, the smoke of the Battle of Guandu still lingered, and the Han dynasty existed in name only. That same year, Septimius Severus ascended the Roman throne, opening his reign with the declaration, "Enrich the soldiers, the rest matter not." The benevolent era of the 5 good emperors ended at that moment. The seismograph vanished. Malphisan's formula was lost. The green pouch book burned to ashes. Cao Cao's tomb hid itself from all discovery. Teotihuacan's rulers never left their names. The Maya departed without a trace. History preserves far less than it loses, and those lost mysteries are what linger in the mind long after reading. No prosperous realm collapses overnight. It is a building with cracked foundations and leaking walls, until one final push brings it down. All observers claim the fall was unforeseen, yet every fissure was already there, visible all along.